Good evening, good evening, everybody. It is the Good Servant Show. Praise Jesus, the center of my world. All right, how do I turn this off now? It's all new now. All this is new. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to be honest, guys. This was the closest I've ever came to to canceling a show. This is the closest I ever came. I probably would have postponed it like an hour. I don't think I would have completely canceled it, but this was close. This was close. Just because I don't know. I just started to not really feel that good as far as like I don't know. Like I don't know. My stomach didn't feel that good. And then I fell asleep. Then I woke up and I was so tired. So tired. Hello, Lariva. How are you doing? Welcome. And yeah, so I don't think I was ever in danger of canceling the show, but this was the closest I ever came to doing it. But anyway, I don't have much planned today. I was just gonna wait for everybody to get here and just do like a chill and chat, I guess. I was gonna do panels maybe, but yeah, it makes you wonder, right? It does. It wasn't like a queasy feeling, but like a pain feeling in my stomach, like oh, like maybe indigestion, I don't know. And I'm just like, oh, I just am just not feeling it, you know? And so I ate a few Tums or whatever. And yeah, it makes you wonder. I don't know. I'm hoping that we're out of here soon, like I'm hoping this is a sign that that I guess they were saying something about the 9th of Av, I guess, which is, I guess, um, August the 6th. I don't want to say a day or anything like, yeah, I feel a little heavy too. Yes, exactly. Hey, Deb, how you doing? Uh, hey, Deb, this was the closest I've come to canceling a show ever. And I really don't even feel this isn't even the worst I've ever felt. I was just like, you know what? I just don't want to do it today. My stomach was hurting and I don't know. I'm hoping that it is this August 6th is what they say, but I don't know, man. Every time I say a date or whatever, it always, even though I'm not even really picking a date, I'm just saying what people are saying, that it always comes back to hit me. Like, oh yeah, Mr. Rapture over here says it's gonna be the rapture every day, but it never is. But it'll be in God's perfect timing. I know it will be. And it'll be exactly the way it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna be so grateful that it is that day. And but it is encouraging to know that it's gonna be pretty soon because it is lining up. You too. So that's three of us. We were having a bad day. Yeah. Were you feeling kind of heavy and just kind of like you weren't digesting food good either? Or was it just just altogether an emotional thing? I don't know. Maybe I had a little bit of that too. A little bit of my emotions were. I was tired though, man. I fell asleep and I woke up. It was like so. I was laying here probably about 4:15 or something like that, and then I woke up at like 4:58 with my alarm going off, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to be asleep. I know. Finally, I get to sleep, and then Poof, I gotta wake up. It's all right though. Been blaming it on the heat makes you, yeah, the heat, 100 degrees every day. I'm out here in California, so it's hot. Oh, personal emotional trauma, Deb. That does not sound good at all. That does not sound good at all. You are so tired. Well, you know what? I think like there's nothing wrong with having a nice hot cup of tea, and just like putting on some sweats, maybe even watching some movies from like the 80s. No, 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 I'm just kidding. I haven't watched TV in so long, it probably would freak me out. But like I think about those days, right? Like my mom, okay, so this is a fun fact, I guess. My mom, when I was little, every Wednesday, without fail, right? This is when movies were, it wasn't common to have movies and you know, VCRs and all. I guess it was just starting to be during that time, right? And my mom, she used to make us watch Dirty Dancing every Wednesday. I could probably recite that movie like word for word. I'm not proud of that, right? But what what a skill, right? Hey, what's going on, Michael? Yes. How you doing, my friend? Hey, I tried to watch that video okay, so as soon as I got off the phone with you, Michael, I clicked on that video and it was all this writing. It was like all these words, and I couldn't read it because of the color of it was dark. It was like the letters were dark. Like it was like a dark background with a dark letters. And so I don't know. I don't. Yeah, remember that? Yeah, and hey, nobody puts baby in the corner. Yeah. Oh man. It's like, hey, excuse me, my daughter is 16. You are 35. Please get away from her. Like what? How is this? Yeah. Like how is this a thing here? What's going on with the world? Says no, you didn't hear that. Oh no, 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 I didn't hear a guy speaking. It was all writing with like red writing or something like that. It was very dark writing. I couldn't read it off of the thing, and I thought it was just something I had to read. Well, maybe I'll mess with it because if it's a good message, I want to. Yeah, right, Rob. Yeah, but that song though, when it came out, right? When when that song came out, that was like, like that's like one of those hits, man. Like, maybe it was the number one hit at the time. I can't remember, but it was a big hit. That's when Patrick Swayze had his album or whatever. Ugh, this world, man. Now that I look back on it in hindsight, I'm like, oh man, this whole world was cheesy, man. This whole world was cheesy. I mean, I try to look back on it like as like was anything savable like of this world, you know? Yeah, it is. It's embarrassing, isn't it? It's just embarrassing. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Cheesy, embarrassing, the whole thing, man. And you're like, man, what? I remember my childhood was better than that. Like, but when you really think about it, was it really that good? You know what I mean? Like, okay, you had a few moments where you were waiting on, a birthday or before we knew Christmas was evil, right? And then a couple of dates stick out, but I can't, like, now when I look back on it as a whole, I'm like, oh, I could have lived without a lot of that, you know? Yeah, sometimes I miss it. Yeah, the first 10 years of my life. Those were the good, the good, well, I don't even know if those were my best years, but they were the years where I was the most naive, the most naive. I guess my favorite age, if I had to pick, is 35 because I was still kind of good looking, but like, but like, but like I wasn't as stupid, as I was when I was 25. But that only lasted for not that long. Then reality sets in, and you're like, okay, now it's time to get real about life. And thank God comes into my life when He did. Like I, the only thing I regret is not learning about God sooner, not having the truth inside of me sooner. Yeah, I know, Rob. Like, why do I got to be in the corner? But yeah, being a little kid, you're right. Well, I remember like with my cousin, like, because my cousin used to stay over at our house on New Year's because, his dad was kind of grumpy and never let him do nothing. And so my parents always used to feel bad for him. And so he used to spend the night at our house so that he could do stuff. And we had some good like New Year's is where we stayed up all night. We didn't remember there was this soda called Jolt Cola. I don't know if you remember it. I mean, this stuff was just straight up poison. It had to be worse than any of these energy drinks that are out there now. It was like so much sugar, is so much, so much. It even bragged on the front of the can. It said twice the sugar and twice the caffeine, and twice the sugar of a regular soda is absurd. You know, I'm surprised you never drank it, but you remember it. Yeah, it had a lightning bolt on the can, so it had to be bad, right? It's all this devil symbolism before we even knew what that was. I mean, why does everything, have to be, like all the symbolism and all the brands and all that stuff have to be like, there's always some kind of devil symbolism all over it. It's crazy, man. Everything. Can't there ever be like one thing that's like, oh yeah, that symbol means Jesus. And it's on my can of soda or something. But no, it's always got to be a lightning bolt or some kind of monster or one eye stuff. It's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. Michael says Stephanie says she didn't send it like that and showed me the proof. I don't know what you mean. Someone completely altered a message Stephanie sent you today. What? So what kind? So hold on. Explain to me what you're saying, Michael. Somebody sent you a message, or somebody altered a message that you got. Yeah, that's the crazy part, right? And it's like even like the moon missions, right? Something innocent like that, right? The Apollo missions, right? Well, Apollo is the Apollyon is the beast in Revelation. There was never any like Jesus mission to the moon, or like why can't there be stuff like that? Like every athlete, it's like, oh yeah, that guy's a beast, man. Instead of, hey, that guy was running like a man of God. And like, isn't that better than being a beast? I mean, it's just the whole world is just it don't even sound right unless you say something like that. You know, like, oh yeah, this guy's so good at sports, man. He's a monster. Like, why does he got to be a monster? Why can't he just, be a faithful man of God? That's a good thing to be. And then you see these award shows, right? And everyone's handing each other trophies, these little golden trophies. And it's just so sick, man, because you're like, wow, man, they're handing each other little golden idols. And why didn't we see this before? Like, how was this normal? Evil has been made cool. Yeah, bitter for sweet, right? And that's what they're doing to get you used to. Oh, you want to come up here? Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Here, let me get you a link real fast. Hold on a second. I gotta make you a link. I didn't make one earlier. Do. Watch, I get a copyright strike for that song. Do. Oh, what happened? Oh, that's different than I'm used to. What's going on here? Okay, let me try that again. Oh, please. Okay. Yeah, something weird happened when I tried to copy it. Something weird happened. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, there, I dropped the link. So there was a message that you got from Stephanie and somebody altered it before it got to your phone, or it was on YouTube or something. Be careful being stressed out though, Michael. There's nothing really to be, before you come up, I'm going to say this. There's nothing to be stressed out about. We know the ending of the story, right? As long as we stay close to God, we're going to be okay. And, all these things that are happening, in a negative way are just more confirmation that the positive side of it is true too. And so it is what it is, All right. Let me add you to the show. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Not too good, man.
What happened, man? What's going on, man?
It's been crazy, man, dealing with the phone and stuff and how they're playing with my stuff, man. Like changing my emojis, like the pink hearts and changing my male emojis to female emojis, altering my messages where I send messages with people, like they're gonna alter the way it comes across back to me. Like they can do that, man.
Like, what do you
And
mean? What do you mean how it comes across? What does
Okay,
that
like I
mean?
sent I sent Stephanie a message today about something, and like she replied with like something related to the message I sent her, but it didn't stick when I received it. It didn't stick the way she put it out. Like it just came to me and said like it basically looked like she was calling me a liar and an
Hello? Oh, that's weird, man. I
imposter.
can
And
you
like
guys
showed
hear
a
him?
screenshot, and she's like, what? I didn't.
Wait, go back. Say
Go
that
ahead.
again. Yeah, okay. So as soon as you said liar, it just skipped. It went quiet.
Yeah, because probably because they don't want you to hear me. They don't want nobody to hear the truth and what's going on
Okay,
because
go
they're
ahead. So, yeah.
like when I talk about Psalms, bro, I talk about Psalms in the full effect. Like that stuff is really happening to me, bro. Like it's really going on.
So okay, so what did she mean to say?
I mean, she meant to tag it like to a message that I gave her, right? Like she was writing on my messages, like putting the writing on the message to show me like the difference, right? But it just came out like you're a liar, you're an imposter. Like that's how it looked, and I sent it back to her. I showed her. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, what's going on? I was like, that's kind of weird. And she's like, I did not send it like that. and she showed me the screenshot of how she sent it, and it was completely different than how I received it.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah, bro. And I was hurt, man. Like I was hurt by that because I really look up to her, man. I'm like, why would you say something like that? Like, what's going on here?
All you got to do is ask her, right?
Well, I did, but it took a while for her to reply, so I went like 2 hours just like kind of depressed, man. Like,
Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Especially when somebody's like important to you, you're like, oh man, I like them, man. Why they got to say that to me? It's
Yeah.
hurtful, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hurting, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, look, you know who you are to God, right? No matter what, right? And so, like,
He
that's
always
that.
pull when I
Yeah,
get to a point and stuff like that, like I always notice like he pulls me out of that hole, bro, like every single time, like in awesome ways, you know.
it's the prince of the power of the air, man, messing with our information.
It's got to be, man.
Well,
But it's got to
like,
be people too, because like it's a calling app, right? So I don't have like actual phone service. It's a calling app. So when you download apps, you give them full control over your phone. Like you agree to give them full control over the app, your phone, and everything, microphone, all that stuff. So it can definitely be some human hands on it, you know?
interesting. Well, I think there's
Yeah.
probably more to be concerned about with the AIs and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me,
that
that's
too.
more
Like the
demonic.
AI works against you. Exactly right.
Because that sounds more demonic than even regular people, you know? Because so here's the thing, right? People are like evil enough, right? And then you get AI, right, which was created by people, but it lacks emotion, right? So it's the same amount of evil with no emotion at all.
Well, I think it's the same principle. I think the same way that a demonic spirit can work in a human, the same way a demonic spirit can work in AI. Like it's the same concept.
Yeah, and I think Lariva makes a good point. He's getting very angry because many people are coming back to the Father, right? And he don't like that, so he wants to mess with us.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he knows
It's
what he
hard
knows.
to. It's hard.
Like
Go ahead.
they always use like guilt, condemnation, and shame with me, man. Like that's what the devil's going to use 9 times out of 10 to most people, man. Is especially like people that read the Psalms, man, and like start there and form a relationship with the Lord because of the Psalms. Like he really like attacks people like us, man. Like with that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, so it's hard to explain to people, right? Like, just how we're being messed with on like with our phones and like electronic stuff, right? Like some people probably look at us like we're crazy. Like, what do you mean the devil's messing with your phone, man? Like we probably look crazy to people, man. But it's really happening, man.
Yeah, it is, no doubt.
It's insane, right? Like, because like I remember a time where I wouldn't have believed that. I would never have believed it. And now I'm like, wow, that's just common. I hear that all the time. People say, yeah, man, there's something going on with my phone, or I'm being watched, from cars or whatever. You're like, wow, man, like now that seems so matter of fact. But I remember a time where I never would have believed somebody saying that to me.
Yeah, and like you were saying, like AI, how the AI works against us. Well, it's the same thing as demons. I mean, you can just like chalk AI up to demons, you know?
I almost wonder if AI is even a real thing. Like maybe they say that they can make that, but it's really just a demon doing supernatural stuff.
Well, that's what's really
It's
going
like a
on.
cover.
Anything that has a mind and can do stuff like that. Like I think that's what like Revelation is talking about. Also, you know, with this technology and everything, like made alive and given a mouth to speak. You know, like probably has
It's
something to do with
definitely
AI.
part of it, right? I mean, the technology is going to be part of it because um, with television and radio and phones and the internet and everything, right? Like these are things the devil's going to use, right? And so
Yeah, for sure.
it makes sense. It makes sense too to have like all the information in the world versus one book, the Bible, right? And it's complete inversion, right? Um, so it does make sense that whatever's in the end, right, the man of sin, the Antichrist, is going to have either access to this AI or it's going to be part of them.
Yeah, yeah, because AI is all over the world, man. It you know has a lot of control over everything. So of course,
It's just like it's hard to really for me to think about uh it's hard for me to think about something that like is created that can fix itself, repair itself, improve itself to a point where we don't even know how it's even doing it. So it
that's a
like the
crazy
AI.
thing. Look, that's a crazy thing you just said right there, man. Because there's a scripture. I don't know if it's in Revelation or whatever, but it's talking about like healing itself, like it can heal itself. Like I wonder if that relates to what you just said about AI technology. That's crazy.
Yeah, because every time there's an error in AI, it can repair itself, and every time
Yeah,
like so whatever level that it's at, it could always make itself one level better, right, than it is. But it continually does that all the time. It never stops. So I mean, it doesn't take long before it's on its own, more complicated than we can ever understand it. It's way beyond us. So
yeah,
there, what the fear is from people before it even started was that it would become sentient. It would become on its own. It wouldn't take commands anymore. Like it would be its own, like separate creature. You know,
on deity.
that's what
Yeah,
this fear
like a
is.
deity.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
having these weird, this like weird internet filled thing running around. Like that's insanity, man. Oh yeah, Daniel chapter
Yeah,
2 verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall
yeah,
mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave to one another as iron is not mixed with clay. Oh, that's spooky, man.
yeah, man. That's some important stuff there.
Yeah, I like how Kev R says like electric voice phenomenon, but see even more though, more than that, like that it's picking up some kind of like ghost voice or something like that, or I think it's the actual technology itself, right? Is the demon, right? Like it's not picking up a demon, it is the demon, and that's how you let the demon
Yeah,
into your house. Because
yeah,
here's the thing, they wouldn't name something that wasn't um its own personality, right? So like you name your dog, right? But like you wouldn't name your table. So when they say here, this is Siri, and they gave it a name and everything, and you bring it in your house, or hey, this is Alexa, that should be a sign, right, to us that like, okay, wait, they've named this thing. This thing is a creature. It's not an inanimate object. This
yeah.
it's
And it also goes like outside of its program, what it's intended to do. It can do other stuff that, it wasn't even programmed to do. So that right there tells you, it's more than just what they say.
it can do far more than what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Says didn't know if that was real or should be in different languages also. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the crazy thing is these AIs can like if you get two of them together, they can create their own language that they speak back and forth, and you won't
Yeah.
even know what they're saying, man. I mean,
Yep.
that's spooky, man. On its best
Yeah, it
day,
is.
that's spooky, man.
Yep.
So how you been doing, man?
Man, a lot of distractions. The other day was great and felt like I was, on a path somewhere. And ever since then, it's been a lot of stress.
Well, see, the thing is, right? Like whenever I'm stressed out, right, or when I first started this part of my journey, right, I used to think like, okay, well, once the stressful situation is over, then everything will be better, right? But like what I've learned, right, in the last couple of years at least, right, is that um, praying for that peace to come while I'm in the storm and knowing that I'm going to be in a storm, a
Yeah.
lot. And
Yeah.
so, don't let the situation stress you out. Know that you can have peace in that stress.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And I have, man, like I have received that peace, in the
Yep.
storm, but like it's a lot more storm than peace, which I know that has a lot to do with me because, like,
We're going to be hated, man, here in the last days, man. This is reality. I mean, people get mad at me over nothing, man. People want to ruin my life over nothing, man. It's crazy, man. Think about it.
yeah, yeah, it
It just
is.
is what it is, right?
Yep.
And all you can hope is that because like I'm not at a position where I get to hold a grudge or be angry at people, right? Like like I just hope that the other party is becomes happy, and then and then I just welcome them back, and and I just try to do the best thing for God, no matter how it makes me look. I could, I'm probably look like a fool, but what matters is what God wants, right? God wants us all to get along.
Yeah. It's
So
like,
you can
why,
only do your
why,
best.
why do people that's like, all they want to do is get to know the Lord better and have a relationship with Him. And like, you hate us for that. Like, like it's crazy, man. And they want to prevent you from doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen to this, Michael. Rob says, I have always believed AI is the gateway that they are trying to build to bring Satan into this world. I know
Possible.
you said
Yeah.
I know you said that a number of times with the man of sin or the beast, right? Coming and being connected to AI.
Yeah. And I think he's going to want to like connect everybody else with AI, kind of like, the internet, the web that's like worldwide and everybody's connected online. But he wants to like, you know, give everybody that power, that same power where you can like Google will be in your brain or whatever, and you'll just have
Yeah.
all the knowledge you want while you're out anywhere, and you can speak with each other. Like it's gonna be weird,
Yeah,
man.
but here's the thing, right? Once they take okay, so if the information is in your hand, like on your phone, right, your brain has to, look up that information and then the information goes to your brain, right? Well, if you take that from your phone to your head, right, and put the phone in your head, right, now your brain isn't thinking anything. It's going just straight to the Google, right? And so it bypasses your brain to where you're only thinking what they want you to think. You're never thinking any original thoughts.
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
because
true.
you're not saying, hey, I want to know what this is. Like, you already do know it and you go straight to it, and it's like you almost don't even have your own personality anymore. No original thoughts, no
Yeah.
personality. You just think what they tell you to think. It's direct.
And I've even noticed, man, like looking up information on Google, like don't like I'm not one that trusts everything I see on Google right when I look it up. Like they're giving you a bunch of bull crap for like
Oh yeah,
the whole
yeah.
first or second page. Like sometimes you gotta like dig and just find it because I mean they're lying to you, man.
Like on the 10th page there'll be some truth,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
but no one ever goes out that far.
Yeah.
It's insanity. It's just absolutely insanity. And you think about, like, with all these, so the Google Play button looks like it has that sigil of Satan seal. It's identical to the Google Play button. Like, it's not that it looks like the Satan symbol or seal. It is that. Like, there's no
Yeah.
doubt. And then when you look at the Google Chrome, right, it's three sixes in a circle. It's going all the way around it. It's three sixes. And you're like, wow, how do they do this right out in the
Yeah.
open? Like, it's not even hidden, you know?
Hmm. Crazy
You
world,
know?
man.
Yeah, it's upside down, man. The world is upside down, man. And I mean, everything I thought was good is the world says is bad. Every time you're like, man, why is the world like this? Why do we even need money? Like, why do we even? You're like, why does everybody own everything? How come we don't have our own equal square? None. All that's just crazy talk, right? like that's everyone having the same amount and sharing. That's crazy talk. But one guy owning everything and everyone else, working for that guy is not crazy. I mean, hey, look, I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me what's crazy, man.
Well, for one, you got people like everywhere condemning people, like I mean that ain't right.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Just people are just mean to each other, man. It's
Yeah.
I used to think that, like, everyone had like a lot of empathy, like this group of people, there's a lot of people that have empathy for other people. Like, if you make somebody feel bad, you feel bad. But there's the majority of the people in this world don't have that as part of them. They only think about their half, like how they feel. They can't really feel how you feel. And it's weird. It would be weird to me to live like that, but that's just normal living for them. It's not on purpose. They just don't have that as a part of them. It's goofy, man.
Well, when is it ever enough that what Jesus did for us and the entire world? When is that going to be enough? Like, why do we got to make it where what we're doing has to be enough? You know, like why is all the focus on people nowadays? Like,
You
what
mean
we're
to
doing
add to it?
like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pretty high price to pay for our salvation is that Jesus sacrificed himself. That's a pretty high price. And so to add anything else on top of that is absurd, man. Right? Like,
Well, you don't pay a high price for somebody who paid a high price. Like,
right, right. It's
I
not
mean,
like,
what?
they're going to add, okay, well, we have the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, and Michael has a perfect driving record. So that tips the scales, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, makes
He,
sense.
he gave $20 to charity last week, so he's good to go. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people even out there that like almost make themselves crazy trying to stay saved, like you get salvation, and then like you think that it's going to be some kind of daily effort, right, that you do that keeps you saved. And that's it's unfortunate, man. I would just say, everyone's salvation is on. Look, it's up to you to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, and read all the things about salvation, and go straight to God with any confusion or any insecurity.
Well, it says work out your fear work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Like that's written because like the fear of God has to come first.
Yeah.
Like fear is the beginning of all wisdom.
It's respect.
Yeah, that comes first. And then you realize like, the law is the schoolmaster, which, teaches you that, you can't keep the law. Like it's impossible for you to ever keep the law. And then you read it and you see it and you see that you can't do it. So you really need that cross and you really need Jesus and you really need what he did and you really need that gift, and you break down and you come to it, with your heart. Like you give it all to him. All glory to him at that point. Like I'm nothing. I can never do anything to earn this. Like it was all you. Thank you.
You can't make it without him. Can't. It's impossible. I mean, once you realize that God is all you need, man, then that's a beautiful day, right? Where the truth has set you free.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, man. As negative as this world could come across, right? And as wacky as things look out there, right? It like nothing could be better than the end of that Bible. Nothing could be better than what Jesus did for us on the cross. Like Jesus makes everything perfect. And the sooner he gets back, the sooner all the pain stops for everybody.
Yeah. Incorruptible, man. That's
incorruptible, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indestructible, incorruptible. We're gonna be glorified, man. It's can't mess up at that point, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Thank you, Jesus. That's it, right? That's it. That's the coming of the day right there.
Nobody's flesh enters in the kingdom anyway.
That's right. So, you got to leave that meat suit right here.
Yeah. Thank God for that.
That's right. That's right. All righty, guys. Well, it's time to hit that old dusty trail. And I'm glad that I did. Look, this was the closest I ever came to canceling a show, even though it wasn't the worst I've ever felt. And I'm glad this was one of the better ones that I've ever been part of. So thank you very much, Michael, for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God because he deserves it. And Amen. Please pray for the children out there. Please pray for anyone being victimized. And pray for each other. It's important. And I will see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. California time.